Hello again. This video will be about Eagle Point Park. Immediately in front of us at 3rd Street and Main Avenue is Lyons Manor, where Vern lived. And we are going to go north on 3rd Street. A few days ago, this was the southbound incoming tour, identifying all these houses, essentially, because this part forward, this part north, is largely all residential. But about a mile and a half up is Eagle Point Park. In the winter, not all of Eagle Point Park is actually accessible by car, so it's going to be a short drive. But it's a pretty park. It was prettier when it was more well-maintained by the city, but much of the natural overgrowth and the natural overhang from the trees still keeps it pretty pretty. Pretty pretty. There are only a few things I can comment about as far as going north to Eagle Point en route. One is the small business immediately to our right, which is called the North End Dairy Treat. In my childhood, that was Ken's Corner, an ice cream shop. Ice cream and sweet shop. Almost in the old school kind of way, too, where all the sweets are actually sitting out in little tubs for you to pull out with your bare little dirty hands. Nice little marker identifying Eagle Point Park. The road we were just on, 3rd, actually used to go the direction we're on now without that little jag. I see that the water tower is gone. You always have the water tower at this little intersection. Oh, there it is. It's just not as big as I remember. And this would be the threshold of Eagle Point Park. Gates closed at dusk. Eagle Point Park was a project of the WPA during the Great Depression. Something to spur workers to work, money to move. As a WPA project, it was all about cheap materials. So the park itself has like no curbing or constant, the street itself has no curbing or constant level. It's done up in patches. Immediately to my left, outside of the view of the camera, is the play area for kids, which I see they've made into 21st century. They've leveled the swings. It's all plastic now. None of the hard steel. No kid's gonna get injured on these. Wow. I even remember there used to be 4 concrete water conduits done up in a plus, and then the kids could actually like crawl through them. It was covered over in dirt. Made a little mountain for you to climb on. All gone. The house on our right there, that's the caretaker's house. The blockade I just hung a U-turn in front of would take us around to a river view, but I don't think that section's open. And we can see that there are blockades to our right where that whole section comes back out. The snow fence to our left stops the exit of the second circle, so this is going to be a short visit here. The building in front of us would be the community center. You'd rent it from the city and have family reunions and stuff like that. At least back in its heyday. I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't know if the camera's picking up that there's a light fog in the first 5 feet or so in the concrete, above the concrete. Almost looks like a smoke. Off to our right would be the exit threshold from the turnaround from the earlier part, also blocked off. It's also that whole section there that's blocked off is very hilly and very tight turns, so I could see the city not wanting people driving it, specifically in the winter months. In the highest part of winter, this section is still open though for cross-country ski. The name of the park is appropriate, Eagle Point, because there's always been an eagle population up here. And that ends our cruise of Eagle Point Park. Would have been longer had it been open all the way. You would have been able to see a few extra things, but that'll require a visit in spring, summer, or autumn. And so, the tour is done.